Good morning, Remy.
Good morning, Breck.
Feel like we are getting so off schedule. I have mixed feelings because I feel like shit, we were supposed to do this on Wednesdays and it's not been happening and it's because of me. And but at the same time I'm like, we're still doing it. So
Yeah, we are fighting through the
maybe
time.
have grace. I don't know.
I mean, it's been raining a lot here, so all I want to do is like curl up and binge watch TV and draw things on my iPad underneath my covers. So, is that a
You
cat
guys
that
do
just jumped
this.
up behind you?
Say hi, Luna. That's definitely a dog. Welcome to my world.
So, did you guys get
Oh,
any? Did you guys get any of the crazy rain that we're getting in California?
mm-hmm. Crazy high winds. It was actually, I think they had forecasted it for it to rain yesterday at 3, and we made it through the day without it raining. The wind was crazy high, starting about 5, and then just escalated and escalated and escalated. And then it started raining hard. But I know that places around here got snow as well.
Yeah, I was cleaning my tack rooms because it's muddy, and I had lunged all the horses already. And it was like nice and sunny. I was like, oh, maybe we'll dry out. It'll be fine. And then, like, as I'm going to put the rest of my saddles away, like this wind comes like buffeting through, and it's like a 20 stall barn, like a full barn, not a mare motel that I was in. And I'm like, man, now I got to reclean those saddles. And then the guy that works for me comes running in. He's like, Remy, Remy. And I come outside because it sounded like it was raining really hard. And it was giant snowflakes. It snowed for like, I don't know, 30 minutes. And our
When was the
elevation
last
is
time?
low. Like, we should not have gotten, we've gotten snow here one time like 17 years ago.
That's what I
But,
was just going to ask. When was the last time you got snow?
and yeah,
Never.
yeah, we don't get snow. We get a lot of rain. But we don't get snow. So that was, I did not get my tack rooms put away because I was outside taking pictures in the snow and then moving horses because my pasture pets were looking at me like I was an asshole for leaving them out there, so I had to move them in.
Mm. Mine looked the ones that, well, most of our pens are covered, but there are some that are not covered. But with that crazy high wind, it wouldn't have mattered if they were covered or not covered because they're all open sided. And that wind comes through, and I just feel so bad for them. The ones that are not covered are by my house. So I was watching them, and they all like, quick, turn their butts to the wind and hunker down in their stalls.
It's
Didn't look
been
very fun or comfortable.
yeah, it's been a crazy year for weather. James went to a cow sale up north, like, and so the Grapevine, which is like the connector to Southern California, gets shut down from snow and wind. They have these giant gates. Did we talk about this last week? I don't think so. I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyway, he like
I remember you
shot.
talking about the grapevine.
Yeah, so he like shot the gap to get up there, but a lot of people got stuck on the Grapevine. He made it home. There's people stuck in our mountains, like, and they were telling if you take certain roads to pack stuff because there's places that are completely snowed in that rarely, if ever, even get snow. So they're not.
Well, the good news is that I'm pretty sure that it does not matter where you live in the United States. This year we had high amounts of moisture, whether it be from rain or snow, and moisture was a huge issue for a lot of those areas. So hopefully, because of all the moisture, we won't have issues with hay crops, pastures, etc., etc. It pretty sure they're going to be plentiful.
I hope so. So and out here it's been good for us because we have the sun in between, so you're not just sitting on wet ground with no growth. But yeah, I mean, it snowed here. I was not dressed for snow. I was in yoga pants and a sweatshirt.
And what would have you been in if you were dressed for snow?
Like jeans and a jacket. I mean, I would have been.
Okay, Remy.
I mean, like that kind of. Like, it was more that you're walking horse around, and I was like, this doesn't deflect anything off of me. I have snow pants. I have snow jackets, but
I haven't seen mine for a long time. So what did you do this weekend?
What did we do this weekend?
Did you have a show?
We did not have a show this weekend. It was also raining last weekend, I think. Baseball, maybe baseball. And then I we did something on Saturday. I don't remember what. I think we did cow stuff on Saturday. And then Sunday I tried to take off and a bunch of things happened. And I tried to take a nap and I woke up to like 900 text messages. And I was like, I just wanted to take a nap without the world burning down. And it didn't quite happen. But then we had some resolution on some problems. So now our show is not on your sale dates, which is good for Robin because now she can make the sale and then come here for 10,000 added the next weekend. So we moved our show the weekend later.
Very nice.
And then with the rain, all my days have blurred together because like I have a very normal schedule. Like Monday I work horses, Tuesday I have lessons, Wednesday I have lessons, Thursday I have lessons, Friday I work more and do like other odds and ends. And when it rains, I have no idea what day it is. And my kids didn't have school last week, so it really messed up my schedule of having to pretend I knew what day it was.
Right. Did
you guys went to Arizona State Finals, right?
Yeah, we did. Arizona RCNC State Finals was this last weekend in Phoenix. For us, it meant the last time of driving up to Horse Lovers for the season, which we love. It's a pain in the ass for us to go because we haul in and out every day. So it's a pain in the ass for us to drive in and out of Phoenix for horse shows. And we did it several times this year again. So,
just one more thing on the list, Breck.
So then it's kind of a funny story. So on Saturday, the weather was really nice here and we all went to the show as a family. It was a good day. Everybody had a good day. We didn't get home until late, which was fine. And the plan was the next day is just Bodie and Brandon were going to go back because it was, I woke up at 5:30 to feed and it was raining, cats and dogs, crazy. And I'm like, the last thing that I want to do is really go ride outside in the rain because it's not a covered arena. But Brandon and Bodie wanted to. So I'm like, that's cool. We've got enough things for me to do here. So Bronson and I were going to stay home. So I got up, went and did my deal outside, came back in. I'm like, for sure, negative. I'm not going. I will stay here. I had to receive horses in that day anyway. And videos still need to be done, working on that. Lots of things that I could have been doing here. And my house is a goddamn disaster. Let's be very honest. Okay. So I'm outside weeding, cleaning stalls, doing the things. Tanner calls me from RSNC. Breck, I heard that you and Bronson are not coming today. I go, that is true. He goes, if he does not come, then he doesn't win his little year-end awards. So dumb. Son of a gun, Tanner. So
was he short on rides or what?
No, you had to ride that last day, but I didn't know that. It was fine. It ended up working fine because this is the little story. Oh, that is hilarious. So Bronson and I get in the truck. We drive up there separately. I enter him full in the 6 class. So then he wishes 6 class had 120 teams. The little shit ends up winning it. It was a fun day. So, and I coached everybody else all day, which was also fun because I love to do that for others to help them go further and faster. So
now I do remember what happened. I was working. Now I remember. I don't know what I did Saturday during the day, but Saturday night I was finalizing the Vegas flyer, and again from the rain, I'm like on the last thing, and I have my computer set to autosave every 30 seconds. And I'm literally like about to hit enter because I've like reorganized everything with all the sponsors on it, and all the power goes out. It's like, whoosh. You know, like your house makes that like noise when all the power goes out.
And you're like, not now, universe, not now.
And my friend Louie had called me, and I'm on the phone with him. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna send it to you right fuck me, man. No, I said, I can't send it to you. And he's like, isn't it on your phone? I was like, it did not, like, it was mid-save. It didn't
Did
say
it
so.
save though? Like you
It
didn't have
saved
to...
it saved a lot of stuff. I just had to
Yeah.
reorganize images on it, but it was yeah, that was really frustrating.
Speaking about flyers, we are okay. We're going to be talking about irons in the fire today. And because I feel like there's a lot going on in not just my world, both of our worlds, but I'm like super scatterbrained, do not feel, maybe I work best like that and I don't feel on top of anything, but anyhow, feels like everything's fucking last minute and I don't like that feeling, but that's what life is all about for me lately. Anyhow, I did not mean to do a last minute RSNC show, but that is the way that it went because they did not approve my producer deal until Friday night. Last Friday night. My show is this weekend, Remy. So it wasn't that I did not have it sent in. Did I have it sent in months ahead of time? No. But did I have it sent in weeks ahead of time? Yes, I did. Not bitching at RSNC because the people who are here, nobody's driving from a far away to go to this show. Do you know what I mean? They're here.
Yeah,
Anyhow.
I mean, I think we all get caught like playing a little fast and loose, especially when you produce a lot of shows. And I'm like, never in the past have you needed this much time from me to tell you I was doing it. So
yeah. Well, so
and then I feel like sometimes when I do stuff really early, then they still like not just RSNC, but people still forget. And you're like, I tried to plan, I did the things, and you forgot. So I think it's better not planning and just blah and throwing it out into the world.
Well, I didn't mean to do it that way, but that's how it happened. But anyhow, so I get the agreement back on Friday nights. What was going on here? People were probably here. Anyway,
people are always there, Breck.
I know. So then anyway, I'm like, I'm just going to take my computer with me to the show. I'm not riding the first classes. I will do the flyer on Saturday at the show. So I did just that. I got there, got everybody on their way, horses ready for them, send them away, grab my computer, go sit down and create the flyer. Well, of course, do you struggle with spelling February? I mean, I should have fucking known.
February?
Yeah, I struggle with February.
I also have to say Wednesday, so
witness days?
Wednesday instead of Wednesday.
That's a hard one too. So anyway, I'm sitting there doing the flyer and I'm like, F-E-B, trying to spell February and put the flyer out there for the universe and realize that like the end of February is now. The show is in March. Like, oh my fuck. You know, so then you got everybody calling you and they're like,
yeah, I did it
March.
for I think it was Vegas last year, and I either put like I think it was like 2002, like the same thing, not paying, like trying to get it done, and you know, like you look at the overall picture and it looks great, so you don't proofread it. And Wesley and Colton both commented, they're like, man, we missed this by like 2 decades. I was like, thanks guys, you could have just called me and told me I put the wrong date.
Yeah. Well, everybody was calling, texting, commenting. I'm like, I feel like you guys know because I put up there, see you next weekend. I'm like, I will revise that tomorrow night. So I did. I mean, it's all good, but
you know, but then in fairness, there was that ranch sorting tips and tricks Facebook page that was like approving every flyer ever sent to them for the last 6 years. So all these things were like popping up. So maybe people were just confused because it happened not just to us. Same thing. Colton's like, hey, your mom's like sharing the flyer. I didn't think the Vegas flyer was done. And I'm, you know, I call my mom and I'm like, Mom, what did you do? She's like, I didn't do anything. I didn't post anything. We don't have a new one. And then I see like one from like RSNC World Finals from like 4 years ago. The Robertsons deal from like 5 years ago. And I was like, oh. So, you know, maybe they were just double checking that it wasn't an old flyer that just got re-kicked back out. But I do that a lot too. Or then I have to fix something. Yeah, you know, because again, I look at it and it looks great, and there's inevitably one mistake on every flyer.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? I can't even remember.
So you got your flyer out. You have an RSNC now next weekend.
No, this weekend. Like in 2 days.
It is. It's Thursday. So,
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be fine.
Living the
So,
dream, Breck. Living the dream.
no, I hate to complain. I really do hate to complain. I just think that, and as I said, we're going to be talking about too many irons in the fire. I like to have too many irons in the fire because there's going to come a time very soon when I'm going to say to you, I don't feel like I'm doing enough, Remy. I said it to you last year. But then it's such a fine line because I'm mental. I'm a mental case, I feel like. Because I like to be super busy, but then I think that you get you have to be careful with how busy you are or whatever because you can really burn yourself out.
Yes. I too have 3,000 irons in the fire, and I never say no to anything. And much to my husband's consternation, I don't really stop very often. So I but I heard so we were talking about another friend one time. I was talking about another friend to yet another friend one time, and we were like, oh, like, what do you think about this? Because he was starting a new business, and the one friend says about the other friend that's starting a new business while he has a very other successful business. He goes, well, he's always just trying to keep his head above water. But he's like, but I liked living like that. I liked always struggling to get to the top. And I was like, okay, but I don't want to drown. Like,
Right?
so it's for everyone. And like we can talk, we live literally at least 4 different lives, and the burnout is real, and people don't understand. And when you're really good at making it look like you're not burnt out, people then give you more irons to put in the fire, because if you can handle all that, it's like the old infomercial is like, but wait, there's more. There's more that you can do. There's more
I
for
don't
you to
know if
do.
other people, because like I feel like we've cut out of our lives like the things, like we used to be on some boards and stuff. Um, we had to, resign or step down for that because we just didn't have the time, or it would just probably wouldn't have been fair for them, and our time needed to be dedicated somewhere else at the end of the day. Maybe it sounds a little selfish, I don't know, but it just didn't seem like we had to just cut ties. So, and same with like the job and all of that shit. Like that stuff had to go so we could do this. And I can't say that anybody else puts irons in our fire.
Yeah, I think it's more like opportunities come to us, and because
I think that that's what it is. I
yeah,
mean,
like that's what I mean. It's not like someone's like, oh, I need you to do this for me. It's like, oh, this is a great opportunity, and you've handled all these other things, so can you handle this? And you're like, for sure, I'll do it. I'm your girl.
and what would be really cool is if you like, I feel like, I mean, this is the life that I love. This is the life that I want to live. But there's definitely an issue with time management and understanding like how to manage the piece of my life before I get to the point where I'm crazy psycho woman and I'm super tired and I'm super um scattered. I don't really care to be scattered. I wish that that's the point that I could get to, Remy, is like, no, well, I could do about 5 days and then, or in my downtime, which would be my summers now, maybe. And I thought that I did a better job of that this year of pre-planning. I do know that I did. I can't say that I didn't do a better job of that because I did, but I think that there's more things that I can do to make it less stressful for me at this point in my life. Like right now, this month, because this month happens to be very busy and I feel out of sorts. And then it gets me out of sorts with you. And it's just like shh, 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 shh. You learn how to deal with problems at the drop of a hat, like very last minute problems. It feels like you're doing that all the time, which that's not great, but
So it's
you
I mean, well,
can.
it's the joke about agriculture, right? It's just moving. It's just prioritizing and moving from one emergency to the next, right? And the that's the guy that James grew up with, Willie. they were interviewing him one time, and it's like in this article, and they were talking about like, you know, something had gone wrong and they fixed it. And he looked at the journalist and he's like, yeah, I don't know what I would do if anything went right, if everything went right. And for us, that's how it is. It's just one emergency to the next, one problem solving thing to the next. And then, but you know, even if you pre-plan, right, you have the sale, so you can pre-plan all you want, but you still have to have the horses come in. You still have to get the videos, you still have to get the photos, and you can't really do that far ahead, right?
Yeah.
Like
and the weather just has not been real.
Yeah, no, and so then
anything.
you couple that with, which is a crunch time thing anyway, with uncooperative weather across everywhere, not just in one area in particular, and you know it puts you under a crunch. But and I wish you could save up the energy like from your summer, right? I wish you could save that up, and then when you're tired, like pour it back in. But I do the same thing. I'm like, I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna do these things, and then I'm like,
well, and then I think when I get kind of stressed out, I will just like walk like retardedly around the yard, like my head like going 1,000 miles. Like I don't even know what to do, Remy, because I'm like, oh my God, there's so much stuff to do. So then here I am just walking aimlessly around the yard, like thinking about all of the shit. And then I just have to start.
Again, this is why you're like James, because I just am like, let's pick a task. I don't care what task it is. I'm going to pick it. I don't want to hear the reasons why I should or shouldn't do it. I don't care. I will now commit and move forward. And
I usually have to go clean a stall or something because I need like an easy task where I can then like put things in order in my head of what needs to be done first and when and where. And then I can move on from there. And Brandon will get so mad. You're cleaning fucking stalls. Don't we have other things to do? Because we do have somebody who does that for us. And I'm like, this isn't for you. This isn't for her. This is for me right now. This is how I organize myself. So leave me alone.
Yeah, James drives a tractor. That's what happens. He's on the tractor for a long time. I know that he is getting off with a very long to-do list for me about what needs to be done. It's just a difference in brain wiring, right? I know I have 100,000 things to do, and instead of worrying about how I'm going to do them, I just pick one, and I'm like, well, this is the path I'm on right now, and I will jump to the next emergency as it comes because it will come. And I think too, like the hard part is when you have a lot of stuff to do, it does come down, like it comes down to outlook for me, right? So you can look at your list and be like, well, I didn't get all these things done, or you can pick on someone else like, well, yeah, you got that done, but you didn't get X or Y done. Instead of like, thanks for getting that done, and into yourself, like, that was awesome, I got that done. So I try not to be negative about not getting things done because, man, life gets in the way all the time. I got 4 kids. I got a barn,
you know, and then I real recently, like within the last 5 days, I'm like, oh my God, you know, we talk about this all the time, like how to be a better people and how we deal with it. Well, I mean, this is like real shit, folks. I mean, we do talk about daily, like what actually happens in our life. And it is hard. It is not easy. And then I get like, when I get in these spots, I get so mad at myself because there are so many worse things that we could be dealing with, Remy. I mean, life really is pretty freaking good. We get to live how we want, where our health is good, our kids are healthy and happy. There's so many things. And then here I am like freaking out about what is potentially small stuff.
But again, right? Like I was talking to someone the other day about like privilege, right? Like I never have to worry about my power getting shut off, not having food.
Yeah.
But you can get overwhelmed, right? And it comes back to like, how big is your plate? How big is your bucket to carry water? Right? So no, I don't have horrible things right now. I've had horrible things. I have until recently been fighting for my life as a producer, which is not fun and stress inducing and really ruined my Christmas and New Year. But we made it through. And again, my whole approach to that was put my head down and go to work and not worry about it. But I know there's worse things. And I know that even if it hadn't gone the way it went, I would still be successful because I work hard and I offer a good product. And we've been in business a long time because of those things, right? Because I offer a good product, because I know what I'm good at. But it's still overwhelming. Just the difference for me is, right, I say this because I am married to someone that gets overwhelmed by it in a different way than me. It doesn't mean I don't get overwhelmed. I just handle it differently. Like I will commit to a course of action until that course of action no longer serves me. But I won't once I've made a decision, I just don't worry anymore.
Yeah.
No, I also don't know that that's super healthy, right? Like I'm like, okay, here's this next shit show delivery, so let's go with it. That again, I'm not saying that's healthy. It's just it's easier for me rather than worrying. I try not to worry about any negative outcome. That doesn't mean that I'm not aware of them, but I'm like, I am going to do my best to get the most positive response that I can. And if that doesn't work, well, then I will readjust rather than I am going to try and do this, but here's 19 reasons why it won't work. No, I just expect it to work. I will a
I've
lot of
gotten
things to
past
work.
that in my life. It's more or less like for me, like, okay, I feel like I'm dropping things because I feel like I'm dropping the ball or forgetting things. Like, for example, I still have to go get a bunch of prizes yet for this weekend, and I don't know what I'm gonna get besides coolers, Remy.
Hey, I tried to help you on that like a while ago.
What? Yeah, you tried to help me on that a while ago. But I'm like, the videos have to be done first because that takes priority right now. I will find the time to get the prizes before Saturday. La 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 la.
These are all my lists. You can barely see them.
Lots of them.
Lots of them. This is all what I got told to do in the last day and a half from my husband.
From James.
Oh, yeah. Because he is a list maker.
Mm.
And I have to be a list maker too, but just so I don't forget things because
Yeah.
I will forget things. James likes to give me very long lists, and then I still have another, 7 jobs on top of that. I really need a secretary. I don't want to pay a secretary, but I need a secretary to do all the.
I've got Allie. She helps. She
Yeah,
helps me.
and there's some stuff I just don't want to do. Like you said, you don't like doing computer stuff, right? I don't mind doing computer stuff.
Well, it depends on what it is. If it's QuickBooks, no. If it's flyers, that's okay.
Like you said, that's okay. I like making flyers. I like doing designs. It's a very weird thing, right? Because I don't think I would function particularly well if I had one job to do. Because I do. I like to live in chaos. I like to live in chaos. I like a lot of things going on.
I think I'm the same. I think I like to live in chaos. What I would say is that I probably need to get better about either organizing my life in the downtime or I don't know, but something.
I also I have a lot of hobbies on top of all the jobs that I have. I was talking to someone yesterday. I was talking to someone. I was like, "Yeah, well, I have like a silk screening thing," and I was doing this. Like, what one of the deals? She's like, "You have a silk screening machine?" I was like, "Well, no, I have the silk screens and I have the ink, and I do it on my own." And she was like, "In what time?" I was like, "I don't." I was like, "Whatever you want. I probably have some of the crafting things for it, and probably more than I ever needed, but I have them. So I have a lot of silk screens and." Leather tools and the Cricut and yarn and another sewing machine. And
I have none of that because that is not my.
And like crocheting stuff. I don't know. I like to do things and then I amass a collection of things that I'm not using. So and James walked out and he's like, because I have a giant leather shop. And that he built, and he's like walked out, and there's like sweatshirts over here that are drying with the ink on them from the silk screen, and then I've got the heat press going for stuff that was iron on vinyl, and then I've got other pieces of leather done. And he was like, Remy, like one project at a time. I was like, but they have different drying times, so I can do more all at once. But the problem is, I didn't finish a lot of them, so now I just have a leather shop with like all these little substations of nothing that got finished, like nothing got finished. I got some of the sweatshirts finished, but Yeah, like I did giant ice chests as our High Point Awards, like very expensive big
Yeah,
ice chests.
that's what I
And
was doing too.
I used my Cricut machine to put all of our sponsors on it, which seems like a really good idea until you're like weeding out tiny.
Because they have to be individual, right?
They have
On
to
the
be individual, and they don't, right? I could have done them all in a single color. I could have made my life very easy, but like, so Stacey Howard is SHPMF, right? And it's a black logo with like a yellow triangle and a girl and a dog like running for PMF, and it's like this whole
I
thing.
feel like black would have been sufficient,
Yeah,
Remy.
and so but I didn't do that. I didn't do those things. I did the yellow triangle, and then you have to like really weed the tiny girl like out, and then I had to layer it on top of each other, and all of these. It looks great. It looks amazing. It was really frustrating because I'll be like, oh, I'll be in 10 minutes, and then it's 2 hours later, and I only have like 4 of the logos done, and I need to
No,
do more of them.
I am
So
definitely the person who simplifies and am like, I would have been all black. Like, looks great. Leave it
it,
like that.
remember, I like to commit to things, right? Like I like to commit to the suck. I like to commit to the mistake. I'm in it for the long. And they look awesome. I'm super stoked. Um, but yeah, you know, it's okay because originally what I was gonna do, and I still have one started. Um, I was going to tool the tops in leather for them. And James comes as I'm cutting out like the leather,
That
and I've
sounds
got
ambitious, Remy.
so James comes out, and I'm in the leather shop. I have this big template, and I've cut it out, and I've got it all, and I've edged it, and I'm ready to start um, tracing my pattern on and everything. And James goes, Remy, like, it's a really great idea. And you should make one for us. He's like, but you're not going to get 3 done in a month and a half. He's like, unless you were literally only in here all day, every day. He's like, it's great. It's over ambitious. Maybe just bring it back a notch. That's all you got to do.
No leather, Remy. No leather. Or like a patch like this.
And that's what he said. He's like, if you got it, like to get it done fast enough, it wouldn't look like you wanted to. And that is the other thing. Like, I strive for perfection. It does not bother me when it's not perfect. However, if it doesn't look anything like I wanted it to, then it upsets me. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to somewhat align with my vision. So he was like, make the stickers. So I conceded and made multicolored stickers. And however, like Christian Walters, Winchester and Associates Insurance, I did printable vinyl on that one because that was way too much. That would be way too much even for me to try and do like the oak tree and then the lettering and all the different colors. So I did printable vinyl. And really, I probably should have done printable vinyl for all of them, but not me. Not this girl. No.
Overachiever. Well,
Overachiever.
I think the moral of this story, I'm pretty sure that we're not alone. I mean, it is really good to have multiple irons in the fire. I'm a firm believer of that in like figuring out how to manage the chaos is hard. I apologize because I feel like I've been super mediocre at Coffee with the Cowgirls lately, and I don't like that feeling. But I thought about it, and I'm like, well, last year at this time, I like totally put it all on pause because I couldn't manage it anymore. Like, well, at least I'm not doing that. I mean, it bugs me that it's not uniform in time, but I'm like simply too. The other night we were supposed to do it, and my Monday was terrible. My Monday was a really bad Monday. 4 not great things happened. And this is how bad my Monday was, and I didn't even tell you this. 4 not so great things happened, and the last not so great thing that happened was that um I was on an important phone call, and Bronson comes over to me and he's like, "Are you almost done?" And I'm like, "No." He said, "Well, I need to talk to you." I said, "I will come find you when I'm done with this phone call." He must have been watching me because he's seen me get off of the phone, and he called me and he said, "Mom, you got to come to the house. I have to talk to you." I said, "Okay." So I come to the house, and as soon as I get in the house, like I didn't even get the door closed, and he looked at me and was in all out, full on tears, bawling. And he goes, "I did a really, really bad thing." And I'm like, "What did you do, Bronson?" And he continues to tell me, I hit Glenn's truck with the golf cart. Glenn is our farrier. He has a little Colorado shoeing farrier truck, and it is parked out of the way behind my house for a reason. So it is out of the way. I go, you hit his truck with a golf cart. And he goes, yes, it's super bad. And I go, how bad could it be? You hit it with a golf cart.
He hit with a golf cart. How bad can it be?
It's really bad, Mom. I'm like, at this point, there'd been so many other bad things that had happened that day. I'm like, just grabbed him by the hand. I'm like, let's go take a look. I can't even say that I was super pissed off because I'm like, yeah, it was just like another thing to be added to the shitstorm of things that happened that day. So we walk around back behind the house, and I was like, how the fuck did you do this with a golf cart? What does a golf cart look like? The whole driver's side door is completely gone. Like, you can't even open the truck door. Yeah. I'm like, couldn't believe it. Could not believe it. The whole truck door is done. The golf cart is fine, however. How is the golf cart fine? I don't know. But the truck door is completely totaled.
You sure you didn't hit it with another truck? You should go look for another dented truck. Is what you should go look for.
So that was my Monday. And I told Remy it was, and so then, like, I was not great. Wasn't great on Tuesday. Yesterday was a little better, but I knew on Tuesday or Monday night, like, there's no way I mentally can do Tuesday. And on Tuesday night, I was like, still can't do it. Still trying to get through all of this. Oh my God. But I told Remy I saw two black, I don't even know if they were crows, but they look like huge ass crows that are never there on my stall area when I was riding early on Monday morning. And I thought to myself, today is not going to be a good day. I don't feel like this is a good sign. And then sure as shit, it was like thing after thing after thing after thing that went bad. And I'm like, oh my, I'm going to bed. I went to bed at 8:00 that night, Remy.
Because it can't get any worse, right? If you're asleep, you know, I would like to say if you're asleep, things can't go worse. But my Sunday didn't go that way. I took a nap, and like I said, I woke up to apparently the world being on fire. So there's that. Yeah, I think the hard part too is like when you're very busy and you have a lot of irons in the fire, you have to have some grace for yourself, and you also have to kind of laugh eventually, not always in the moment, when things go really wrong. Because we have days like that too, where I'm just like, what fucking else? What else? Like, what else can you throw at me? And then you should never challenge the universe with that because it always answers. It always answers, and not usually to the good. But yeah, I like to, for days like that, I like to use the analogy like when it rains, it pours, and I'm in a boat with a hole in it and no oars.
Yeah, I was just like, we got to fix some problems here. Let's figure it out. I just had, I don't even know. I was beyond that when it rains, it pours thing. I was just like,
that's what I said. When it rains, it pours.
When I wake up, it's better. It's got to be better. I don't know.
It's got to be. It's got to be better, or it does. I don't know. But I think that like you do have to have grace for yourself though, because you
do.
Otherwise, it becomes this like self-fulfilling prophecy that the world hates you when in fact it doesn't, and you don't matter. But it feels very personal on days like that. Like it feels very personal when everything goes wrong. You're like, the fuck did I do? Who did I step on? Like what crap did I fall into?
Every week we talk about like how to be positive and how we work through these things, and here I am. Maybe we should just fucking quit. Maybe I should get a job. I don't know. That is where I was. Like I wasn't like, what did I do? I was just like, this isn't fucking working. Being a baby. I was being a baby, and I don't like that.
James gets upset because he says that I am for someone that what did he say? He goes, for someone that lives in the gray, you are very black and white. Right? Because I think most people aren't good or bad, honestly, right? I think everyone for the most part, works to serve their own self-interest. I don't take that as a negative. Just we're all out here trying to survive, but I don't think everyone's wholly good or wholly bad. Like everyone's in the gray. But if I make a decision, again, I'm gonna commit to it. I'm going all out. Like, and so because James was like, I don't get it. He's like, you act like you float along and everything's fine. He's like, but man, when you click in, I was like, oh yeah. Like if I'm committed to a train of thought, like I'm gonna follow it all the way through, all the way down. But it's easier for me that way. Like I don't like being indecisive. Like it doesn't mean that I won't change my course of action or my train of thought when new evidence is brought to me. But man, I'm gonna choose a path and I'm gonna follow it until I know better. Because sometimes you commit to something and then it's not for you. Like you have a very pretty mustard colored sweater on, right?
Yeah, I committed because once again.
Okay, but like, what I'm saying, this is going to be a very trivial way to prove this. So mustard was really big. Was it this season or last season? Like it got really big, right? And I was like, oh man, I love that color. Like I love mustard. I think it's like such a pretty color. I bought like 3 shirts. And because I'm so olive toned, when I put them on, I look really, really yellow, right? And again,
it's yellow.
Like this is a trivial thing for the commitment, right? So I committed to mustard, and about 2 months into it, I was like, I am going to change this commitment because while it looks amazing a lot of other people, it does not look amazing on me, which is fine. But you have to commit to stuff. I had a phone call from a friend that I've known for almost 30 years, and we were talking about something, and she goes, man, I really admire you because you really don't care about what people think of what you're doing. And I was like, no, I don't. I was like, I care deeply. It just doesn't affect me. And she was like, she's like, yeah, I don't understand that. Because again, I got to commit to something and you'll either follow or not, or my life
and
will
actually that whole like, because I would agree, like when I first started doing this, I probably cared. Now I'm like, I don't really even think about it. You know what I mean?
It is one less thing to take up the mental space in your brain if you don't care what people think about you.
Yes.
And the girl that called me, she goes, someone had said something to her about me saying something that I did not say. And it was pretty funny though, because she was like, yeah, I know Remy well enough to know that if she actually said those things, she would just say it to me, whether I liked it or not. I'm like, yes, 100% true. Because again, commit to the suck, man. Commit to the void. Just commit until you're proven. Like that's why I think like this isn't just about life, right? When people are like, oh, you changed jobs or you changed opinions or you changed whatever, right? Like, well, you said to commit. And I was like, yeah, commit until a better course of action or train of thought presents itself. You don't have to ride it all the way into the ground, but like stay committed for a point and see if it serves you or not. And I have to stay committed because, we train horses. So I was talking to someone and I was like, yeah, like we're really busy. I got the horse training, and then we got the new box beef business, and then we have the horn cows, and then we got the beef cows, and then we got the stocker cattle, and then we got the shows. And they were like, and you have 4 kids and a husband. I was like, oh yeah, those. I forgot that part, which makes me feel horrible, but they weren't the top of my list of priorities in my life. I mean, not priorities, but like, yeah, I guess priorities. How do I do all these things? Because thankfully, James and I are partners and our kids are along for the adventure. But, I don't think of that as being a drain on you or like mentally taxing, but it is, because not only am I worried about all my clients and all the businesses we're running, there's the mental space taken up by your husband and your children. That's always there, right? It's always in the back of your mind. How are you being a good wife? Are you being a good mother? Are you being enough? Are you not being enough? Are you selfish?
Well, that's like a whole nother topic, Remy.
Right, but like all those things happen at the same time because they aren't, they're not isolated, because it's like, well, and then am I being selfish because I want to go to sleep at 8:00 and just reset my mental button, and I we were taking my kids just when the power went out, because my mom lives like less than a mile away from me, but she had power. We were taking the kids to my mom's house because their cousins were there, and I'd had way too many cups of coffee, fully aware that I had way too many cups of coffee, and they were yelling, and I had to like turn around. I was like, I need you to be quiet because I am so overstimulated right now from everything I have to do. I am going to be such a mega bitch if you don't just it's a 5-minute car ride. I need nothing but silence. I was like, just like they got out, and so the kids they were good. They got out, and James, we turned around and go to dinner, and he's like, "Can I talk, Phil? Like, am I not too loud to talk?"
Depends on what you're gonna say.
And I was like, "Well, just know I've had like 19 cups of coffee to get things done today, so I'm a little on edge." But I like the chaos. I'm really not. I get bored doing one thing, which is also why I have like the 50,000 hobbies that don't ever get finished, because who wants free time? Who wants to relax? And then I also go the opposite way, to where I like to sit there and, like I said, I binge watch TV and draw on my iPad alone in my room, which is also probably not healthy. But that is.
I used to like to read a lot, but I haven't really. I need to go grocery shopping is what I really need to do. I need to start loving that again. I reused a coffee filter this morning, Remy, because I don't have any coffee filters. Like, this is what my life is coming to.
Something happened. What happened the other day? Oh, we got a phone call that a cow was out. Because, why not? Why not have cattle out? A cow was out, a pipe broke, something, and this all like pipe broke, and I think like, I don't know, the shaving stack fell over, something else happened, right? Like 3 things happened before 7 o'clock in the morning. And then I go to like, because I have like little farmhouse decor, so I've got like this metal tin container for my Keurig cups, right? And I opened that and I was like, man, James was like, oh, there's no coffee too, so you don't have coffee either? I was like, yes, I don't have coffee. Like, just
bad day.
I was like, it's just a bad day. So then we go through Starbucks, because James buys me Starbucks every day. And he strokes my hair, and he's like, I got to do whatever it is to keep you happy, which made me laugh. So that was a good laugh. But
well, I've got to get my day started here, Remy, but it was good that this did happen this week. So I apologize for my wonkiness, but if you give me another 3 weeks, we should be back on track, and then you're going to be busy.
Yeah, I'm always busy. Again, though, I'm always busy. I'm just going to wake up earlier and do more.
We are going to get to see each other next week, though.
At Zach's show, right?
Yeah. I keep calling it the Appenzeller show. It is not.
No, it's
the Cisco show.
The Cisco show. I know someone's like, are you going to the Appenzeller show? I was like, is there another show? I was like, I don't know.
Keep saying it.
I was like, there's a show every weekend in Arizona, so quite possibly, I have no idea.
Yeah, but I keep saying it. Appenzeller is the Cisco show.
So yeah, we get to see each other then, and then we got the US shootout, and then we got Vegas after that. So
yeah, I don't think we're going to the shootout show. Maybe
I'm gonna go because it's 10 minutes from my
close to you. Yeah.
But again, it's not that we're not a shit show, friends. We're always a shit show. We handle it differently, and sometimes being a shit show burns you out, and then you're still supposed to smile, but you don't have to smile. Sometimes go to bed at 8 o'clock at night and wake up and don't look for spooky birds, because look, my thing has a crow on it.
Oh my God. Did you do that just for me today?
Not on purpose. It's just like one of my favorite.
I'm superstitious. Everybody knows that.
It says support your local murder, because a group of crows is called a murder of crows.
Oh my God.
But see what you needed to do, Breck, was like embrace your inner spooky bitch. And then you could have harnessed the crows for you.
I have no spooky.
But yeah, so friends, everything goes wrong a lot of the time. Consistently goes wrong. A lot of things also go right. So when you're having a bad day, take a bath, read a book, draw on your iPad, binge watch shitty TV, or go to sleep really early. And then try and wake up and think that the universe is not trying to murder you. Because I have those feelings too. And then I call my friends and I bitch about it, and then I feel good. So because then they tell me that the universe does not hate me. I don't think it does. I don't think I matter, so it doesn't matter anyway. But vent, get it out. This was your weekly therapy session, Breck.
Yeah, hopefully we're about done with this. Hopefully we're about done with weekly therapy
and
session.
then on to the next thing. But
Correct.
so when we tell you to be cheery and optimistic, it's not because we are all the time.
Keeping it real, ladies. Keeping it real. All right. Until next week, we'll see you then.
Yeah.
Until
so
then,
be bold, be brave.
Humble, be brave. Jeez, I can't even think.
Be humble. Well,
bold,
you know what?
Brave, be humble.
It is on course for today. I also talked over you, so I messed. We'll chalk that up as my mess up. So drop me all the videos and I will get them up on YouTube.
Sounds good. Bye, ladies.
Bye.